C'est dans le dépôt de l'Armée du Salut que Martin Margiela a décidé cette année d'installer son défilé. Après le métro et un chantier, il fallait rester le plus original. Le tout Paris de la mode branchée a répondu présent. Le créateur belge, ancien assistant de Jean-Paul Gaultier, aime l'originalité et le secret. Ni photo, ni interview, c'est le créateur de mode à la mode. La griffe de Margiela, c'est cette ligne longue près du corps et évasée dans le bas. Une inspiration venue des années 70, époque de prédilection du créateur, où la joie de s'habiller, de jouer avec les vêtements était vraiment authentique. Il prend aussi des vêtements entiers pour les mettre en pièces et les remonter à sa façon. C'est ce qu'il appelle la mode destroy.
I think the deconstruction really started with Rei Kawakubo, more early in the 80s. But hers was really out of violence against then current society. And his deconstruction, I see it more as a real study of what makes a garment, how does it function. So I see it as a dissection of a doctor who's looking inside the body. So he's really trying to find all the assets and all the inner workings of a system of making, and then he recreates with it. So it's part of a positive attitude towards the garment.
In Martin's work, I've always seen something that did not take itself seriously, even though I know how serious he is about his work and how precise and how demanding he is. It's really as if he was observing the world and thinking, how can I play with it?
We had now 10 seasons of one style, which people started calling a Margiela style. We could feel that we were, after all these years, influential. So fashion started to change into my direction. So before we were struggling that people could not understand us, but now I was suffering that people understood too well. And I could see that fashion became long, fashion became ankle-length and narrow with destroyed details. I felt very strange. I got depressed. The whole time it was about copies, 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 and I said, yeah, well, okay, well, what can I do? And then press started giving reactions like, yeah, and people should know he was first. And then I thought, hey, why then I don't do it again? And I came up with the idea of, since there were 10 collections, let's make the best of the 10 collections.
Je me souviens très bien quand Martin est venu chez le fabricant et il a dit « Nina, c'est ça la nouvelle collection ». Et je commençais à regarder et je disais « Mais on connaît tout ça ». Et c'était tous des vêtements qui étaient déjà faits, seulement tout surteint en gris.
I thought, but then people will say, yeah, but we have seen that and we have seen this. And I said, okay, they want originals. We will stamp on every garment label the original date of the design. I thought it was a concept. I felt that the word concept was something new. I played a lot before, I discovered the kind of woman I liked to dress. So concept was something much more focused on the garment itself. So the idea was to take clothes of Barbie and Ken and blow them up to life size. People would say, it doesn't fit properly, and that's what I liked. It looked like a doll's garment on a living person. The idea was make a selection of vintage clothes, like a little wardrobe, I can call it. And all these garments would be photographed flat in a black and white picture. So then these pictures were printed on fabric. At the end, it became a highly conceptual result. I thought it would be nice to work on a collection completely based on an haute couture atelier. I did some, not very important studies. I was not really pleased because at the end it just looked like old-fashioned haute couture drapery. So going back then to my studies, I thought, that's it. We have to sell the studies.
L'infinité des sentiments. On s'en fout quand on la réinvente à chaque reprise comme une batterie inépuisable, à la fois écologique et sordide. C'est le recyclage d'amour, bref et intense. Je te regarde. Qu'est-ce que tu attends ? Ok, go. Et le cœur qui bat, comme un quatre mains, on joue le refrain, y'a pas d'embarras. Tu m'en voudras pas, c'est quoi là-bas? C'est les quatre mains qui se jouent en vain entre toi et moi. C'est le cœur qui bat, et le cœur qui bat. Comme un quatre mains, on joue le refrain, y'a pas d'embarras. Tu m'en voudras pas, c'est quoi là-bas? C'est les quatre mains qui se jouent en vain entre toi et moi. C'est le cœur qui bat.
He's in the books, he's in the history, and only a fraction of designers get into the history. But the downside is he's not, there was, I think, a financial struggle for him and for the people who worked with him, too. and they see other people living well. It's hard. It's, you know, it's okay when you're in your 20s to be poor and struggling, but when you get to be in your 30s and then in your 40s, you want to have a comfortable life. Not a rich life, but a comfortable life.
I did during my whole career a lot of consultations, which mean doing collections for different houses. At a certain moment, there came a request from a very important French house, which is Hermès. And when I heard it, I thought immediately, yeah, it seemed so natural, even if it was the biggest contrast you can imagine. Maison Martin Margiela, and then Hermès on the other side.
Still, the image he had was of insolence towards fashion, of something new, of something shocking that was never scared, of daring. And Hermès obviously had not that image. And the wedding between these two was made people very curious of where could that go. On a reputation point of view, that Hermès had asked to Martin was a very, very good thing for Hermès. Because it was unexpected. When Martin met my father, I think my father was irresistible. That's normal, it was my father, but they liked each other very fast and they found their way of communicating that really belonged to both of them. But Martin, he really went to the essence of Hermès, and from this brought out a woman that had this very elegant way of dressing and a very classical way. And he managed to create something that seemed so obvious, as if it had always been there.
Tu es accomplie, tu es accueillante, tu es active, tu es actuelle, tu es admirable, tu es adorable, tu es à droite, tu es adulte, tu es affable, tu es affectueuse, tu es affranchie, tu es affriolante, tu es agile.
For me, luxury is the perfect balance between quality and comfort. And if I can go farther, I would say add timelessness.
Tu es altruiste, tu es ambitieuse, tu es amicale.
I thought that these very pure and simple looks and garments didn't need color. I preferred material, shape, and finishing. So the word colors ripped away from the vocabulary, and we talked only about tones.
Tu es astucieuse, tu es attachante, tu es attendrissante, tu es attentive, tu es attentionnée.
He was really the first one to create that kind of woman, but it seemed like, you know, sometimes you meet someone and you think, oh, we've known each other forever. Well, it was the same thing. When Martin came in Hermès, it's like, oh, we've known each other forever.
Then I had to present this new collection for the first time. And I said, oh, no, I don't want to go out. This is a collection which we have to show inside the house. I want to do a salon show in the shop.
I remember sitting next to Amy Spindler. She was enraged that these plain clothes were coming out. She was like, Hermes has all these things that it could be doing and all these symbols and the scarf prints and the horse thing. And Amy was not a conventional person. She was not bourgeois, but she just could not. And I was the same. I was like thinking, it's so chic looking, but you know, it's so repetitive and it's so simple, and why not do a little bit more? We weren't thinking that the most luxurious thing was a leather coat cut super soft and that went down to the floor. We just didn't get that.
All the reactions said that it was really annoying. And they thought, huh? Is that why they hired Martin Margiela? They were really shocked in a certain way by the simplicity which they called bore. I just started something which would go on for a long time. It was a huge change. So they needed certain seasons to install that new style. I was really, really happy there. I didn't think the end was coming after 6 years already, which is 12 collections, but I had to stop simply because my house was demanding more and more.
Tu es agile, tu es agréable.
Jenny and me, we felt that we were growing very fast and we needed more facilities to develop more lines, which means more assistance, which means more money. By coincidence, it was the same moment that our manufacturer's place was taken over by Renzo Rosso from Diesel Company. So Jenny told him that we were thinking to search an investor, and he made a very convincing business plan. And the decision was taken, so he took over the biggest part of the company shares. We did not want a big luxury group, but somebody who could understand us, who started from scratch as we did. Jenny was less and less motivated because she was having no time anymore for her own creative input. So she decided herself to leave when Renzo came in. For men, I thought it was nicer to use only guys who were not models. And it was just about the interesting look of each guy, not about his fashionable looks. I decided not to do what we call a fashion collection, but I would call it a wardrobe. It's like opening the cupboard of a guy who likes to dress, and you will see that he will have different shapes of jackets, trousers, shoes, and whatever. And that's what I wanted to achieve. Sometimes I say, okay, I do it for myself, but I would also put garments in it which I would dream to wear because I was already reduced to a certain uniform, which was t-shirt, jeans jacket, jeans and a cap. I would never put myself in a suit, so I would think that it was quite exciting to have some guys in a suit, but guys who would never ever wear a suit because they were obliged, just for the fun of it.
Voilà, nous voici sous le pont Alexandre III, la culée du pont Alexandre III d'ailleurs, où on a fait un des shows de Martin Margiela. Je crois que Martin avait bien aimé cet endroit parce que d'abord il avait été très peu utilisé en tant que tel et qu'il était dans son jus, d'ailleurs un peu comme maintenant. This is a show that has been done at Palais de Chaillot in stairs only. And people, see, we build up little blocks for the chairs to be in between one stair and the other. And the models, they were coming up and down and up and down. Believe me, it's not easy to have girls coming down the stairs with heels and with black glasses. Why make it simple when you can make it complicated? In French, we say c'est une évidence. And really, many times, I was looking at the clothes and I say, mais c'est une évidence. Only that nobody ever thought of it before or nobody dared to do it. Some of the clothes were made, but the rest of the roll of fabric was still attached to the clothes. I mean, when you see this and you just only can say it's brilliant. Some girls, they were wearing jewelry that was made of ice. They were basically melting on the body of the girls, and it's changing the color of the clothes while the girls is on stage. I have no words.
In 2006, there came this big surprise of the Chambre syndicale de la haute couture of Paris. Monsieur Grimbach invited me to show in the haute couture week and bring up the artisanal collection to a haute couture collection. It came as a huge recognition. You cannot say anything better than wow. I felt for the first time that what I was doing was quite becoming tired, because there was always a system I used which I knew the best. So I wanted to be different, new, without rejecting my fans. I thought it was good to stop a little bit with the washing, creasing and unfinished look and I took everything which could become design. Something new in the vocabulary of the house. And then there was this white, impeccable women's suit, something very new for me, and I thought, oh my God, this is not Margiela. And I took the iron and put a brand mark in the back of the skirt. So I thought, no, it's Margiela. The first customers we lost during the years, they all came back with a collection which was so different than the ones before. It felt like a new beginning.
When somebody buys a brand, when a company like Diesel comes in and Renzo buys it, you think, oh, this is good. This will give him some capital. And then you think, this is a bad match. This is not going to work out very well.
C'était un énorme changement pour la maison. C'était sûrement qu'à partir du moment qu'il est rentré dans la maison, qu'on a commencé à travailler avec ça s'appelait un brand management, un marketing department, qui avait des plans de collection qu'il fallait analyser, remplir, etc., qui a tout un nouveau vocabulaire qui est arrivé. C'était genre des choses comme sexy, chic, moderne, etc. Pour nous, c'était plutôt de dire la femme Margiela, elle est intrigante, au lieu de dire elle est sexy, elle est mystérieuse, elle est plus couverte, mais peut-être plus sexy que la parole communément est comprise.
Even if with the new direction there was a lot of new and fresh energy, there was something very unpleasant going on for quite a while in the fashion system. For me, it started when we had to go on the internet the same day as the show was shown. I like the energy which comes with a surprise, and this energy was completely lost. Everything was immediately pushed out on the internet. Yeah, I felt a little bit lost. So I felt more and more sad in a certain way, and I felt like, okay, this is the start of a moment where there are different needs in the fashion world, and I'm not sure I can feed them.
Il m'a dit un jour, Nina, est-ce qu'on peut déjeuner ensemble? Et comment il a dit, j'ai compris tout de suite qu'il allait m'annoncer son départ. Ce qui était le cas. Et donc, c'était aussi très clair, avec la collection des 20 ans, c'était le jour où il allait sortir de sa maison.
At the end, I became, in a certain way, an artistic director in my own company. And that bothered me. Because I'm a designer. I'm really a fashion designer. And a fashion designer who creates. And I'm not just a creative director who directs his assistants. (2009) is 20 years after our beginning. So the idea was that I would use my old themes as new inspiration, but translated in a much more artistic way.
Everybody's weird. So everybody came, but you had to have some fun.